Yeah, sometimes it's not enough rain and it affects their crops, and this year it just happens to be the opposite.
Yes, I know that today or last night, obviously, we never really want to have this much rain all at once, but are we still on that cusp of waiting to see if we'll have more headed our way, Matt?
There's one more round from Illinois. It's a small batch.
Okay.
And so I'm going to time that out for who's possibly going to get that. I think that would generally be the last one, but we picked up 1 to 6 inches of rain.
Crazy.
Again. So now some of these totals are, well over a foot for many places across central Indiana for the month of August. Normally we're praying for rain in August, and this year we're praying for it to stop. You're looking live at Live Doppler 13. It looks really active, but there's different areas that I want to break down. You're going northbound, just a couple spotty sprinkles. You go westbound, we're dry at the moment, but we do have a flash flood warning for places like Greencastle, Cloverdale, and even kind of getting close to Monrovia. But then there's another batch of rain headed in. I'll track that in a moment. Farther eastbound, steady showers are wrapping up. We're about to get some drier air in a second. But then far south, we're getting slammed right now with some heavy rain from Bedford to Seymour, even heavier once you get south towards Louisville. But I do want to show you this complex here. This would be the last biggish one, you could say, other than spotty sprinkles. This one coming through Effingham next. Just timing it out super roughly. 40 miles per hour to the east, that would get us possibly more rain around Greencastle, which we don't need it. Remember, we're under that flash flood warning. That'd be 620, Plainfield 652, just after 7 o'clock this morning, in Bloomington and Shelbyville closer to 8 o'clock. So it's going to be a second, and I do think it will weaken a bit, but we're watching it. We're also watching steady rains from Bedford to Seymour this morning, and still some steady rain wrapping up in eastern Indiana. This front will eventually clear us today.
Before we figured out that the quarry was taking on floodwater, my son and I actually started at Hazeldale Landing, right where the bridge had collapsed. We're at Hazeldale Landing, and White River is all the way up to the road. The Hazeldale Bridge, right next to here, just south of this, collapsed. But what is going on over here? It's like it's all going down to this deep hole, but I don't know what that is. I don't know if it has any ties to the waste treatment plant south of here. Here's a bridge at Hazeldale that collapsed. So after talking to several bystanders, trying to figure out where all that water was going, nobody seemed to have a clue. I even talked to WTRV and they didn't say anything. They just seemed to be more interested in that bridge being out. So after several minutes, I told Ethan, I was like, do you think it's possible that that water is backflowing up the Blue Woods Creek into IMI? I mean, that would be filling the quarry. It would make sense why it hasn't filled up yet. And so we decided to drive all the way around to the entrance of IMI, and that was our first glimpse at seeing the water. So this first footage is using my zoom lens on a shaky tripod. A little bit later we break out the drone and Ethan does a great job flying it.
Now to the north. If you happen to live in Carmel, you may have seen and probably heard these. These are massive Black Hawk helicopters.
The Indiana National Guard is using them to help that city construct a secondary dam. It's all needed after Hazeldale Parkway collapsed because of rushing floodwater.
Our Ella Rhodes today saw the Guard take to the skies and fills us in now on the operation that now is underway.
Black Hawk helicopters flew low above Hazeldale Parkway, picking up and then strategically placing 73 giant sandbags to build the dam. Carmel City engineer Bradley Pease says it's a job only the Indiana National Guard could do.
It was inaccessible by any of our equipment today or before, incoming storms. Therefore, the need for the National Guard and the helicopters to place these sandbags.
A few days ago, floodwaters knocked out Hazeldale Parkway, creating a waterfall into the Martin Marietta Quarry that endangered critical water and sanitary pipelines.
Or a couple days ago, I said there was a 90% chance that we would breach that sanitary pipe. We've totally flipped that. It's a 90% chance we will not breach that sanitary pipe.
Each bag weighs 2,000 pounds. The bags created a secondary dam as an additional protective layer in case water passes through the first. Carmel Mayor Sue Finchem said plenty of work still needs to get done.
Our concern is largely lies with our residents who are greatly affected by the floods and who have been displaced from their homes.
The city added that more than 40 damaged homes displaced families. A total of 215 homes affected from the floodwater.
Every single day we'll work really hard to make sure that people understand why Carmel, Indiana is the best place to live in the country. We're going to be here alongside our residents who are struggling, fighting on behalf of them and for them.
Mayor Finchem says they plan to restore this area to what it once was. In Carmel, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
So brace yourself, it is going to be a long time until they're able to reopen the Hazeldale Parkway. The county says in coming up with a plan, it did consider a temporary bridge that would open one lane in each direction, but they say in the end, it's just too expensive and it will delay the primary and main repairs there.
Welcome back now. Cleanup continues after the devastating floods. Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to be joining Derek Dennis at the State Fair in a little bit. But first, flood victims in Connersville getting help tonight from Louisiana for the cleanup efforts. WRTV's Dante Stanton spent the day there with people who have traveled to the Hoosier State to lend a helping hand.
While much of Connersville is entering the next stage of recovery, the Robinson's Whitewater River campground is still dealing with standing water days and days after the worst of the flood has already come through. Now they're getting help from an unexpected source.
We've had the United Cajun Navy. They have been out here, not just once, not just twice, a half a dozen times, but multiple trips during the day.
The United Cajun Navy, based out of Louisiana, sending literal truckloads of resources and able-bodied volunteers across the country to Connersville in the wake of last week's floods. United Cajun Navy's Midwest Director Jacob Rowley is a key piece of coordinating damage control out of the local Baptist temple and sending much-needed volunteers to the hardest-hit areas.
During the week, where volunteer numbers are a little bit down, we'd like to encourage people to come out whenever you can. Areas like this out here really need the help, and we'd love to see as many of you come in, check in, and assist this community as much as you can.
Rowley took us to one of their focus areas, the Robinson's Whitewater River campground, a family space torn apart.
I would compare this as closer to tornado damage than flood damage because of the fact that the water here was moving quickly, not just standing. You can really tell by the way how twisted stuff up is.
Dwayne Robinson has owned the 40-acre campground for 25 years. He can only watch as more than 100 camper trailers on site last week were washed away.
Nobody alive today has seen anything like this here.
Robinson comparing his campground to an Etch-a-Sketch. And over the course of 25 years, he and his family had built a beautiful picture here.
Overnight, somebody bumped that Etch-a-Sketch and erased everything we'd drawn. However, I still have that machine, that Etch-a-Sketch game, and we've decided we're going to build another beautiful picture.
Robinson tells us with the kind of help he's gotten so far from the United Cajun Navy, dumpsters, heavy machinery, food and supplies, what took a quarter century to build will be standing soon again.
And it will not take 25 years. We're telling everybody, give us a call in 1 year from right now. And I bet you 10 to 1, there'll be campers able to come back.
If you'd like to lend a hand, you can go to thecajunnavy.org. It will take all the volunteer hours and help that they can get. Reporting in Connorsville for WRTV 6 News, I'm Dante Stanley.